live again after a week and a half of being without anything going on in sports. We got some stuff that happened this past weekend and tonight as well, and some previews. So we got the Patriots Buccaneers return of Tom Brady. We've got the AL wildcard game tomorrow night between the Yankees and the Red Sox. We've got some WNBA action and a little bit of auto racing action, some history being made. I'm going to start with the New England Patriots losing to TB12, Tom Brady, and the Buccaneers. Mac Jones played very, very well, tremendously well against the Buccaneers defense, going 31 for 40 with 275 yards, 1 pick, and 4 for 25 from sacks. Broke history for, had 19 straight completions, most by a rookie by 30 years, and timed Tom Brady in a franchise record. Tom went 22 for 43 with 269 yards, and it came down things that I liked last night during Sunday Night Football was the trick plays between Jacoby Myers coming out of the pocket and doing that. Mac Jones handing it off to Jacoby Myers, tricking the Buccaneers defense. It really, really worked, and no one expected it to happen. Jacoby Myers did play quarterback in high school, so that is a benefit, but also something that nobody really expected to happen. You got to think, hey, is a defense really going to realize that we're doing this? In the end, it came down to a field goal. You had about between a minute and 2 minutes left on the clock, and it came down to a field goal that Nick Folk could not make, making the score 17-19, Buccaneers, and New England losing 2 straight in a row. I didn't see this coming. I thought New England was it was gonna be a good close game, which it was. It was Sunday Night Football, or we were gonna beat New Orleans last week. It was a close game, but not as close as I thought it was going to be. As a fan, I thought Brady was going to go in there and just smush the living shit out of New England's defense and ruin New England to the point where they wouldn't have been able to hold their own. I mean, the week before, the Chargers beat the Buccaneers in LA. So I believe that Tom Brady's falling off his pedestal, and he's not 3-0 anymore. I mean, they have a loss, so they're 3-1, which isn't horrible, but also Tom Brady's falling off his pedestal. He's not exactly perfect. He's not coming in clutch as he used to. If I was the Buccaneers, give him a year and get rid of him. Say, Brady, you had a great career, but yeah, you can't be in the NFL anymore. You're getting up there in age. Everybody thinks Brady's going to play till he's 43. Not possible. I'm giving him one more year. One more year in the NFL, as well as Rob Gronkowski. He's done after this year. It came down to Tom Brady doing what Tom Brady does best. It came down to Mac Jones playing amazing football, defense, and being able to get Tom Brady to run out of the pocket. New England was experiencing that more than they had ever this year. As a fan, seeing Mac Jones trying to get out of the pocket, pretty interesting to watch. And it really was a great game. As a Patriots fan, we would have wanted to beat Tom because, it was Tom's homecoming, coming back to New England, and the game was overhyped. It was a great game, I'll give them that, but it was overhyped, 100%. Moving on to the next topic, which is going to be tomorrow's AL East or AL wildcard game preview between the New York Yankees and the Boston Red Sox at Fenway Tuesday night at 8 o'clock on ESPN. Should be a great game. This rivalry is continuing. When does this Red Sox and Yankees rivalry get any better? Last time, it's a one game, last chance for a team to get in. You got Garrett Cole and Nate Eovaldi facing off. Two right-handed pitchers. Garrett Cole with a 16-8 record this year with a 3.23 ERA with 243 strikeouts. And you got Big Nate with a record of 11-9 with a 3.75. Pitches, he's a 6-4 record at home with a 3.47 with 117 strikeouts this year at home. Last time he played New York, he's had against New York, he's had 6 starts, 34 innings pitched, only allowing 38 hits, 15 runs, 14 earned, 5 home runs, 4 walks, and 34 strikeouts. I don't really agree with Mr. Stephen A. Smith right now. He's not on my side. He is saying that the Yankees are going to win this one-game wild card game. It could come down to who's playing better. Impact players on both sides. You got Giancarlo Stanton. You got on the Yankees. You got Stanton. You got Judge. You got Gary Sanchez. You've got some big names. Anthony Rizzo. And the names, and it goes on and on and on and on and on. Boston, you got Alex Verdugo, JD Martinez. Kike Hernandez, Christian Vasquez, who's coming off a triple in Washington this past Sunday. It went right over Juan Soto's head. So you're coming off of that, and you're coming off a game that was played at Nationals Park. It's gonna, like I said, come down to who's playing better ball. It's gonna come down to pitching, defense, and who's willing to put it all on the line. Moving on to Game 4 of the WNBA Eastern Conference semifinals. It's the Eastern Conference Finals. There we go. Between your Connecticut Suns and the Chicago Sky. The Suns right now in the series are 1-2. Game 4 coming up on Wednesday night, and it's going to come down to defense. Chicago, for Game 1 and Game 2, played some incredible defense. Double teaming the MVP, Jonwell Jones, as well as Brianna Jones. Double teaming them takes the pressure puts the pressure on them, so when they try to take it inside, they're not going to be able to take it inside like they've done it all season long. Also, the Suns' defense was really struggling. Game 2 at Mohegan Sun Arena, they were really, really playing well. They were playing Suns basketball. Defense, slow pace. Chicago likes a fast-paced game. And having that home court advantage is really going to help for them. It's going to come down to defense, and it's going to come down to who if the Suns want to force a game 5 Friday night at Mohegan Sun Arena, I honestly would love to be there. Being at that atmosphere, game 5, and winner takes all and goes to the WNBA Finals. I think the impact players are going to be Jonwell Jones, Brianna Jones, Jasmine Thomas on the Suns. You got Candace Parker. You got, hold on, I gotta get the names up here. One second. You got Courtney Van Holderfield, who scored the second triple-double in WNBA playoffs, joining Swoop, and that was last Tuesday night. So, you've got some big names that are capable of holding down that Suns defense and making it a close game, coming it down to the wire. Like we saw last Tuesday night, double overtime. It's going to come down to who wants it more. If the Suns want to force a game 5, it's going to come down to the wire. WNBA may not be the biggest thing that most people watch, but it's going to come down to who wants it the most and who's going to play the best basketball. Those are the biggest two. We have some history being made in NASCAR auto racing today at Talladega, actually. Bubba Wallace getting his first career win in the Cup Series, being due to a rainout. Second African American race car driver since Wendell Scott in 1963 to get a win. I don't care about what all the publicity about Bubba Wallace about a year ago, about all the hate crime, all the hate, the hanging. None of that's called for. This dude is a driver. He got himself up to the Cup Series. He deserves the respect now. 23XI now shows that they belong. They're not a top dog, but I mean they're getting engines from Joe Gibbs Racing. Very, very good engines. They're trying to make their own. And by having this gives confidence to Bubba Wallace. It may not be a regular season win. Any win counts for this team. They didn't make the playoffs. They really struggled. We also had history being made in Talladega this past weekend as well. We had 3 first-time winners in all 3 series. You had Tate Fulman in the Truck Series. Brennan Brown, who is a self-owned team owner, who does all of his calls to the sponsors, does most of the business work for his team. This dude deserves it. And I think it was like 140 starts. Finally scored his first win. And he called it. He said, I'm going to win today. And he did it. In starts, got his first career win at the Super Speedway, and just pure dominance. I mean, he may not be the big dog in the Xfinity garage, but he deserves some respect. He went out there and raced some of the best best person who can execute the best in the Xfinity Series. That Xfinity Series is very, very hard. You got some of the best young talent coming up, so as well as how Tate Fulman won in the Truck Series. You got a lot of young talent coming up. You got Sheldon Creed coming up to the Xfinity Series, getting a ride from RCR, taking Myatt Snider out of his ride. There's a lot of people, former champions in both series. And all first-time winners. You had Tate, you had Brennan Brown, and you had Bubba Wallace. Mad respect. The first time that it's a first-time winner at a super speedway. This is history being in the making. Bubba Wallace can get one win, go out and win another one. Go out and win 5. Prove to people that you belong in this series. Prove to people that you deserve the respect that everybody else gets in the garage. And hey, Michael Jordan finally can say, hey, I was an owner of a cup team that won this season. Who can say that? Michael Jordan can now. I am super excited to see what's going to happen at tomorrow night during the AL wildcard game. Should be interesting to watch. I will try to do some sort of post-game show talking about how the game went. It's going to be on 8 o'clock ESPN, and I guarantee you they're going to have baseball tonight before the game starts, discussing any situation that's going to happen and how whoever wins this game is going to have to go out there and play Tampa Bay. Very young team. Very low in payroll, actually. The 32nd, they're the 30, they're the 20, I think they're the 22nd and the 25th team in payroll in the MLB. They're not one of the top teams that has the highest payroll for their players in the league. They're the underdogs. And Tampa Bay may not have my respect, but honestly, they make it to the World Series and win their first title. Good for them. On that other side of the NL, I think the Cardinals are going to beat the Dodgers in the NL wildcard game. And that is, hold on a second, I think that is Thursday night. It's Wednesday night, 8:10 between Adam Wainwright and Matt Scherzer. Two very, 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 very good pitchers. Scherzer, he's had some amazing numbers this year. Ever since he's been traded from the Nationals to the Dodgers, has been nothing but incredible. And Adam Wainwright and the Cardinals coming off almost 17 in a row. I'm calling St. Louis is going to go out there and end up playing the San Francisco Giants, who weren't expected to be there in the playoffs. And this is the wrap-up for tonight. Have a great night, everybody. I will be trying to live stream after the Red Sox game tomorrow. Have a great night. Peace.